Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dreams Unlimited Travel Podcast. My name is John Magi, and I'll be your host. And in this episode, we're going to give you an overview of Walt Disney World packages. We're calling this our Package 101 podcast thing. I'm joined at the table by our panel of experts. I didn't have that worked out.
Smooth.
By our panel of experts. Client Services Manager for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Agent Consultant for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Tracy Heinrichs.
Hi, everyone.
And our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
So again, this is, we're calling this our Package 101. We've done Cruising 101. And so we're trying to give you an overview of what's included in a Walt Disney World package, what the benefits are of booking a Walt Disney World package. I want to make sure that before we start, we are clear on the fact that we're talking specifically about Walt Disney World packages. The word package is used in the travel industry quite a bit, and I want to make sure that we're not, making sure that this is not about everything that's called the package specific to Walt Disney World packages. I think that's important because Disney and their packages, like everything else, is different and unique, and we want to make sure we understand that this does not go across the board to other destinations. So I think the first thing we need to do, first I also want to clarify too, this is for 2019 packages that we're going to talk about. This could change when 2020 packages come out. Disney always tweaks and adjusts a little bit. So keep in mind when you're watching this is for 2019 Walt Disney World packages. So let's start with an overview. What exactly is a package? Specifically, what exactly is a Walt Disney World package? You want to do that, Tracy?
A package is basically a room plus one other component. So typically it would be a room and dining. It could be typically it's a room and a ticket. It could be room, ticket, and dining, or just room and dining without the ticket. So it's generally at least two things. Right. There is something that Disney has that is, they call it a basic package, where it's just the room. It's kind of a vague thing right now. I feel like they're going to be taking it away. So, and there really is no real reason to book it. So, right. That's for the people who are going to say, oh no, but you don't need we know what's out there, but for the most part, we just call that a room only reservation.
Right. You can book a room only and add tickets to it, but that's a whole different animal.
Right. So what happens is if you have a room-only reservation and then you decide you want a package or you want to add tickets, what has to happen is the room-only reservation is canceled, a new package reservation is made, your deposit on the room-only is refunded back to you, and the deposit on the package has to be recharged. And I know it sounds bizarre, but room and package are handled by two separate divisions at Disney, and they don't share a bank account, apparently. So the money is refunded from one, charged to the other. Typically, the inventory is not an issue because they would make sure that we still had the same room that we booked. So it's not like you're canceling it and losing it. Right. It's more of an accounting thing, and the packages are booked through a different department. Right.
If you are familiar with Walt Disney World bookings and you book packages and you book room onlys, you'll notice they have different numbers. Different confirmation numbers. Right. That's because they're two different systems. Also, before we go on to packages specifically, talk about the benefit of a package with tickets versus a room only and buying tickets separate.
So I think the number one benefit is the fact that you're locking in the ticket price on the day you book your package. So if you book a hotel and think, well, I'm going to buy my tickets later, if there's a ticket change or increase, we saw a significant one at the end of in the middle of third quarter of 18. So that's the biggest benefit in my mind, is that you've got it, your ticket prices is locked in. So everybody waits for a deal. If there's no promotion, you've locked in lower prices on your tickets. The other advantage is the fact that with a package, you pay your $200 deposit, and the balance isn't due until 30 days before your trip. So if you were to buy just tickets separate, those are paid in full at the time you buy them, and they become non-refundable at that point. So a big benefit in my mind is that you have your tickets, you can use your tickets as 60 days to book fast passes, but you haven't paid for them until the 30-day mark.
Correct.
So I think that's a real big benefit. The other one now is with the new ticket structure, and I'll be honest with you, we're still figuring it out. I mean, it's, I think, a college education program to figure out exactly how they do their tickets now.
Yeah, that's not a 101.
No. And so what's happening with the tickets is that if you buy them in a package, the price is based on the first day your package starts, and the tickets are valid through your entire stay. So even if you only have a 3-day ticket with a 10-night stay, your tickets are good through that length. So unlike now when you're buying tickets on their own, they have different lengths, different price values, different days. None of that matters in the package. The price is based on the starting day of your package, and your tickets are valid for the entire length. So definitely another benefit now to having it all in one. And when you're linking it to My Disney Experience, it's just a little more seamless, to have that.
I think for me, the big takeaway is deposit. So any package, regardless of price, regardless of what components are in that package, there's a $200 deposit.
Yes, and I didn't say this, and I should explain. The exception would be as if you add insurance.
Okay.
So if you add insurance to your package at the time you book it, insurance is due at the time you add it. So if you add it when you first book the reservation, the cost of the insurance premium is due with the deposit, and the insurance is non-refundable. So while your deposit is refundable up until 30 days before, insurance is not. So I should have mentioned that caveat.
And we've talked about insurance in the past and banged our heads against the table.
Yeah, and we
trying
haven't
to do
taken
that.
nearly enough ibuprofen today to talk about insurance again.
But, insurance is like any other insurance you buy. You pay a premium, and that premium cannot come back to you. But going back to a package versus a room without insurance, $200 deposit, regardless of the price, regardless of what components are in that package, where when you book a room only, it's a one-night stay plus tax, and then if you want tickets, it's your tickets in full.
Right.
So it's much more out of pocket ahead of time for a room versus a package.
Right.
And of course, with packages, you can add other things besides tickets. What are some of the things that people can add to a Walt Disney World package?
Probably the biggest one is dining plan. So for outside of tickets, it's dining plan. You can add quick service, regular dining plan, or deluxe, whatever they happen to be calling them. It could change by the time this airs.
Right.
And one thing to know is that everybody in the room on a package has to have the same ticket, and they have to have the same dining plan. So everybody has the same components. You can add insurance, as we mentioned. You can add memory maker to a package, so that it's all part of the package as well.
So the another benefit of a package is the fact that everything is together in one spot.
Right.
You keep everything in one location, and you know what you have. You can add these components later to a package, but it doesn't make any sense. You
don't save anything.
Right.
There's no savings by doing it a la carte.
No, the only time the savings comes in with the ticket only, and this is why sometimes people do it with a ticket, is they may be using a ticket reseller. They may be...
So one member of their party might have an annual pass.
Right, and that's another situation. I know, like this past, in 2018, there were, for example, Canadian ticket discounts. So people thought that they had to buy their tickets separate to get that discount, and that's actually not the case. We can book a package with the Canadian ticket offer as well. But that was another reason why people thought that they would buy their tickets separate. Often you end up paying more because you wait and the price increases. Because we don't know those things in advance. We have a general idea. And we knew kind of the big ticket change that happened near the end of 2018 was a big change. There was a lot of rumors about what was going to happen, but that completely changed the way tickets work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's true of the dining plans as well. You're locking in the price of the dining plan.
You are.
At the time that you book a package. So if it goes up.
Yeah.
And we see 2 increases a year.
Typically. At least 1 on dining plan, but often 2. There's been a lot of rumors. We knew the rumors about the tickets changing based on days. There's been rumors with dining plans looking at doing that. It would be 20 at this point. I don't think they would change it in the middle now that they've released 19 packages. But, you're locking in the price.
Right.
So we're talking about, booking early. You book your ticket, you book your dining. It's all under one reservation number. You've got one reservation number that you link to My Disney Experience. Everything is tracked, the same way. If tickets or dining go up, your price is locked in. Now, sometimes what happens is there's a discount or a promotion. So now we're looking, and we never know exactly how Disney's going to handle those. Are they going to grandfather the ticket or dining prices? Are they going to make you pay new prices? And we've seen them do both. But that's all part of the calculation. So sometimes a discount comes out, and by the time my client pays new ticket pricing, it's not enough of a discount. They were better off with what they originally had booked. They had a better deal because they booked early and included everything with the package.
And sometimes it's limited to room types and resorts.
Right.
So while you might be willing to move to another resort or a different room type, it could go up in price.
Exactly.
Based on that new thing.
And we say too with, we've mentioned this before, when you're booking your hotels, especially at the deluxe, people want the deluxe resort, but you can pay a big premium for view. The difference between a standard and a theme park view at one of the monorail resorts is massive. So, often by the time we get to discounts, all that's left are the premium views, or those are the only views getting discounts.
Right.
So by booking early and booking a standard, chances are your price still might be better than whatever discount because of the way it's capacity controlled.
So benefits of a package, low deposit as opposed to a room only.
Flexible terms, the fact that the deposit is refundable, that it's not, the final payment is not due until 30 days before, and you get to use your tickets at 60 days to do your
Fast passes and dining.
Thank you.
And then
Yeah.
you've got your, and then you've again locked in the pricing for
Yep.
the components.
And you've got your dining plan. Kevin reminded me at 180 days, where if you've booked a dining plan at 180 days, you can book your dining, and things like Cinderella's or things that would require prepayment, you don't have to prepay it because you're using your dining plan to pay for it.
Kevin is so smart.
He is very smart.
Kevin was very right on that for those
my
keeping
gosh.
score.
All right. So that's, those are all good things and those are all really nice things. But there are other things in a Walt Disney World package.
Right.
They want you to book a package, so they're giving you things to entice you to do it. Yeah. There's a whole list of stuff. We will go through them and list them. Some of them are more useful than others. Some of them might require a little bit, do I really need this discount? Or is this thing? I've had people say, it's not worth it for me to get the luggage tags to have a package. That's fine. But let's look at all the things that are included. And I think that that's what makes a package even more enticing to somebody to book. So you want to go through those, Tracy?
All right. So first of all, they call it a Magical Extras is what they call it, 2019 Magical Extras, and you get a card. The card and your souvenir luggage tag are shipped to you with your magic bands. Everybody that books a resort reservation, whether it's room or package, everybody in the room gets free magic bands. So when they're shipped to you, you get this card. And the card entitles you to different offers or discounts. So it starts, they break it down, so things to do. One of them is you get 4 vouchers for miniature golf. It has to be done prior to 4 p.m., but you get a voucher for each guest, I think, up to 4. And it's 1 day for one guest. You can choose either one of the courses. Keep in mind, they may not always be open.
And I know that some people might say, oh, big deal. That's only X number of dollars to do miniature golf. First of all, it's nice to have it. But second, it's also, some people take a day and say not buy a ticket for every day of their stay.
And you're not paying extra
day.
for it. It's not like a package. When you price out a package, the cost of the ticket, the cost of the ticket, the cost of the room, it's just added together. So you're not paying an extra charge to have
To get
this.
these
So
things.
it's kind of like you're getting it for nothing.
Right.
And no one is this is not going to make or break anybody's reason for doing this. This is not the reason to book a package.
I think the reasons are the ones that we already discussed.
Right.
This is
These
just
are the
a perk.
benefits. Yeah.
But again, I think you look at some people who say, I don't want to buy a 5-day ticket for my 5-day stay. What happens if I do 4-day ticket and save a little money? Well, this is stuff you can do that 5th day.
Yep.
So
you also get admission into the Wide World of Sports Complex, and I know for a lot of times I don't even know what's happening over there and if it matters. But we were on a trip recently, and somebody that worked with Chris, his son was playing soccer. In order to get in there to watch him play soccer, we needed to pay an admission. So had we been on a package, we would have had admission, and it would have been okay. So, there's different activities going on. And sometimes you just want to go over there and hang out. There's different things that you can do especially if you have younger kids that are into sports. You get a discount at Splitsville. I believe the discount there, it's 10%, but it's on It can't be combined with any other discount, but it's on walk-in only. So you can't make a reservation and then use the 10%. Same thing with food and merchandise. I think you also get 10% there on a walk-in. They then talk about places to eat. Most of these are Disney Springs areas, if not all of them. Earl's Sandwich, you get a 10% discount, and I think pretty well all of them are 10%. Earl's Sandwich, Ghirardelli or Ghirardelli, depending on who you're answering or talking to. 20% at House of Blues. Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company offers discounts of up to 20%, and that's at any of the locations. So even in the parks, you get a discount there as well. Planet Hollywood, there's a 10% discount. Wolfgang Puck Express, there's a discount as
I have
well.
a question for you. I've not stayed at Walt Disney World on a package in a very long time, so I don't know the answer to this. Is it automatic if you go up to the thing? Will they
You show them a
automatic?
card.
But I'm saying they don't say, "Well, I see you're on a package."
No, they don't know that.
You have to physically present
You have
the
to
discount
physically
card.
present the card. They don't know that you're on a package or not.
That seems weird with a Magic Band. It seems like they could load that on a Magic Band, doesn't it?
I guess, but I'm wondering if the systems on the other end can't read it. Like the information
are-
might
Does
be there.
Ghirardelli even know that you have a Magic
Yeah,
Band?
you're right. These are
Yes,
partner locations.
these are
they're not
partner locations,
Disney-owned.
and I think that's the difference. I
So we're going
mentioned
to cut that whole thing out because I don't look very smart there. So that's going to be edited out.
So, in addition to the dining discounts, there's discounts for shopping as well. Again, typically, none of these are really Disney locations. Like, you're not getting a discount at World of Disney or anything. These are Disney Springs, so like Basin, the arts by, what is that, Erebus Brothers or something
Yeah.
they call the
Erebus.
Crystal Arts.
Erebus.
And I believe they have a location in the parks that would also offer the discount. Curl by Sammy Duval. What is that?
I think it's a hair salon.
No, it's like
No, not a hair salon.
it's
Oh, it's like surfwear or
surfwear,
something, right?
yeah.
Same difference.
There's an iPlace. Edward, I'm going to mess it up. Wiener. I don't know.
You're going to want your 10% discount there.
It's 15.
Wow.
Even better.
It's still expensive.
And so like Pop Gallery, Filthy Rich, Something Silver. So if you think about all the places in Disney Springs that are not Disney, it's most of those.
Now, keep in mind, these discounts are probably not combinable with anything else.
Right.
A lot of these places will give you a discount if you're an annual pass holder
Correct.
or a DVC member.
Right.
These are
And
not going to be combined.
I wouldn't even be surprised if certain sale merchandise wasn't included. But again, you would have to show your card to get these discounts. So that's the bulk of it. I know, I apologize, I really butchered it, but it's a super long list
It
with a
is.
lot of, and when you get your card, it gives you, there's a little fold-out paper that gives you all of the places. So
You can do a search online.
Yeah.
You can go to Disney's website. All of that stuff
Yeah,
is listed.
I
Or
think
if you're
the
going to go
things-
shopping and you're in the store, ask.
just ask. Yeah. Again, none of this is going to sway you. Like Kevin said, I'm going to buy a package because I can get a discount at Basin. I mean, that's not going to do it. But these are just kind of a little bit of cherry on the cake. I think the real benefits of the stuff we talked about earlier.
True. All right. So what we focused on is primarily Walt Disney World resort packages. So Walt Disney World owned and operated resorts. What Disney did last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember exactly when, is they have offered these packages and a lot of the same stuff to Disney Springs, to what's the big fancy one over in Golden Oak?
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons. So, as a result of limited room availability due to construction and building and stuff, they needed to make sure that people were still staying on property.
Right.
So they've added packages at these other places. For the most part, it's the same, right? It's not anything too much different than what you're getting.
For the most part, there are some differences. Magical Express isn't included. There's some you're not getting the seamlessness of the same. You're not getting magic bands. You're not getting being able to shop at the use your magic band for paper purchases, that kind of stuff. So there's some of that. You still get the fast passes at 60 days. You can't add a dining plan.
You get the keepsake luggage tag.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you this. I've looked at these at different times for different guests, and rarely does it end up making sense. Sometimes when you're looking at somebody needs larger accommodations, they need something like a suite type accommodation. Sometimes it can get close to making sense. But by the time, to me, these make sense when there's no inventory on site.
That's exactly what it is. If you're having trouble finding the room you want,
right,
at the price you want,
and you still want the proximity, this is second best. So I don't, and, we've looked at some of those hotels, we've toured some of them. The package isn't as seamless. Magical Express is a lot of value for a lot of people. The magic bands, if you're buying a magic band for everybody, that's a, $12 to $15 layout per person.
And these hotels will have shuttles to the parks, but they're certainly not the same shuttles that you get by staying at a Disney resort.
right.
They're usually scheduled, so you have to worry about
There's a couple in and a couple out.
Right,
usually.
exactly.
They'll have a different, and the Disney Springs, there's one or two, I think, routes that they pick up at multiple hotels and then bring everybody to the parks. The drop-off and pickup areas are different. So they're not as convenient. And I know there's people out there who stay off-site, and you're going to scream at me. I've stayed off-site too. There's different reasons I do that.
Absolutely.
It might be a villa, it might be a house. We're going with a large family. We're not doing all Disney. There's different reasons for that. I'm strictly talking from the point of view of comparing the value of it to a Disney, because some people think, well, I'm going to stay there because it's going to be less for me. I'm finding that rarely that's the case.
Right. I think that's a conversation for another day. We should look
Yes.
at those hotels separate and do another conversation.
Yeah.
Strictly from packages, I wanted people to know that you could get a package at these hotels if you wanted, but there are differences, and some of those differences are significant.
Right.
Where you might say it's not worth it for me to do it
Just
at.
Magical Express is different.
Right, exactly. So, just sort of a recap about packages that we want people to know is that, first and foremost, $200 deposit, regardless of price, except if you add insurance. Final payment is
30 days prior to your arrival.
30 days prior to arrival. So I think this makes a nice benefit for a package too, is that you're not tying up all your money at once, for sure. Some of the components.
Just go back. You can make payments before that, correct?
You can make
absolutely.
interim payments anytime, and your interim payments are also refundable.
I know that people like to spread them out as opposed to having one lump
Yep.
sum.
And if you book with Dreams Unlimited Travel, we have an online form.
Yep.
You can make your payment anytime, and then that gets processed once we get it.
And we just ask that each payment be a minimum of $100, just because of, the sheer number of payments coming in for our payments team.
And if you're using gift cards, that you use the combination website where you combine your $25 gift cards into larger sums.
Correct. And again, the nice thing about packages is you can put all of the things you want in your package, and the deposit is the same, and then you can work on your plans when it becomes the appropriate time, rather than having to get a dining plan and too soon and not get the reservations you want and things like that.
Right. And just a dining plan can only be added to a package.
Can only be added to a
It's
package.
not like other places where you can add a dining plan separate. A dining plan package only done in advance. Can't be added on site.
Correct. There is one exception to that. I don't know if I want to throw this out there or not, but it's if you are booked at a group rate.
Right.
You can
And we
put
don't
it-
want to throw that out.
We don't want to throw that out there for sure. So I did anyway, so too bad.
Yeah.
But
That's, again, a conversation for another show.
subject for another show.
But I can tell you, typically, your general public offers in almost all cases are better than your group rates.
absolutely, for sure. I wanted to say something else and I forgot about packages. Packages used to be a lot more complicated. I think packages have become easier in the fact of how the components are included in a package these days. So I think a package makes sense for most people. I think that most of our clients at Dreams Unlimited Travel book a package.
Yeah, the vast majority, I would say. And I think the new ticket structure has made more people just want the package.
Right.
They don't want to worry about, okay, if I buy this many days, when's it good for? When do I use it? It's just complicated things too much.
Will the price go up?
Right.
If I come a day later or I come a day earlier.
Right. It just kind of simplifies. I think it simplifies the new ticket structure.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Anything that can simplify that.
For sure. Anything else we want to add about packages? We want people to know in our overview of packages?
I don't think so. I think the only thing I would finish up with is when you're booking a package, these are the things you need to consider, know, discuss with your agent, decide. So you want to know your dates. That's number one. Your resort type or in resort room that you want to stay in. Your park ticket length, if you're adding anything to it, your dining plan, do you need memory maker, do you need insurance? These are basically what we're talking about in the general discussion of, so when you make that contact with an agent or you're filling out one of our forms, keep those things in mind. And of course, it's perfectly fine in our form to say, I chose this, but I'm not really sure what I want. I need some guidance. That's okay. Because that lets us know that we have it on the other end, no way to know if that form is exactly what you wanted,
exactly right,
or what you were thinking when you did it. So it's perfectly fine to say, I need some help with this.
I just would like to retouch on one thing. You were talking about things like Cinderella's Royal Table, that if you have the package and the dining plan, you can make those reservations as part of your dining plan, where if you don't have a package, you have to prepay for those at the time you make the reservation.
Yes, there are a handful that you do, and Cinderella's Royal Table is one of them, that you pay for it up front. A dinner show would be another one, where when you make when you make the reservation at 180 days, you pay for those in full at the time you make it, unless you have a dining plan.
Isn't it true now Disney's requiring a credit card hold?
They require a credit card guarantee on all reservations, whether you have the dining plan or not.
Okay. So it doesn't get around that. And then the only thing I want to add is I want to go back to what Tracy said about discounts. If a discount becomes available for a package, you want to have a package booked. You don't want to have a room-only reservation and then say, oh, look, this package came out. Because while there are ways to get that room and rebook it and cancel and redo it, you don't want to run the risk of that going away in the time it takes to massage the reservation. So another benefit of having the package is if those discounts become available, it's easier to apply that discount.
We're starting to notice a little bit more that some discounts or promotions are package centric. Whereas before, there's still room-only or discounts, but a room-only discount can still be used on a package reservation.
Right.
So that confuses people too. We find out later that people, I booked the room-only so I could get a discount. The name of it is confusing. They call them room-only discounts, but they can be applied to package because every room-only discount has a package equivalent. So
we recently saw one where it was 25% off.
Yeah.
And people thought it was for a room-only, but it was the room-only portion of the package.
So the discount's off the room, but we can still build the package around the room.
Right, for sure. All right, so takeaway, you should be booking packages at Walt Disney World unless, you have an annual pass or something like that.
Right. And one last thing I'll add, if you're going to get an annual pass while you're there for one guest or more, you can still book tickets with your package. And then when you get here, upgrade your tickets to annual passes at the ticket window.
You can use the value of that ticket.
Use the value of the ticket towards the cost of an annual pass.
Excellent point. All right, that's it. Packages 101. We hope we gave you some good information. Again, an overview of packages. We don't try not to go too crazy with it because I'm sure we could go talk for hours about it. But if you're looking at booking a Walt Disney World vacation, book a package. Thank you guys very much for helping me out with the conversation. Thank you, everybody at home, for listening and watching. We hope you have a great week, and we hope you have a great vacation.